Welcome back, pre-algebra students. We're in lesson 108, and we're going to talk about fractional percents. Percents do not have to be whole numbers. They can be decimals or mixed numbers or fractions. To convert fractional percents into decimal numbers, we first convert them to decimal percents. Then divide by 100, which means literally move the decimal point 2 places to the left, to make decimal numbers. Let's jump right into an example problem to illustrate this. This is 108.1, and we're going to write each one of these percents as a decimal number. So we have first 4.2%, then we have 0.05%, then we have 4.5%, and then we have 3/20%. So we know from previous lessons that percent just literally means out of 100. So if we have a decimal, we know what we're doing is we're saying 4.2 out of 100 per 100. And when we divide that, we're just going to end up moving the decimal place 2 places to the left. So that would be 0.042 because the decimal moved 2 places from where it was. That's all you're doing to turn this into a decimal. Same thing for this one. This would be 0.05 out of 100, which is the same thing as saying 2. So 0.005. Is that right? 1, 2. Okay, 0.5. So the decimal place was here, and we moved it 2 places. All right. One of the easier ways to do that is to write the number itself that you have up here, and then put your little pointer or your finger where the decimal place is, and then move it again and put it where it goes. And then that makes it a little bit easier to see it. Okay. Now when we have 4.5%, we can take this fraction here and we can divide it, and we find out that it is 4.5%. So we turn that into a decimal by dividing 1 by 2. Because we already had our whole number, we didn't need to divide it, but we could have said 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is still 4.5. So it works either way. Now we know we can take this and say 4.5 over or out of 100. And when we divide that, we get, this is our 4.5. So one place would be 1 0. Another place would be another 0. So 1, 2. Is that right? 1, 2. Yes. So our decimal place should go here. It's always a good idea to check it just to make sure, right? So 4, 5, so 1, 2, so one place right there. So 0.045 for 4.5%. 3 out of 20, we are actually going to just multiply this fraction. Since this is 20, we know 20 is 1/5 of 100. We're going to multiply this fraction by 5, and we get 15 over 100. And that is going to equal 0.15 as our decimal. Okay? So that is how we do that. Let's look at another one. Let's look at 108.2 and see what we can do with those numbers. So actually, I think what I'm going to have to do is write this up here, because 108.2 is a word problem. So let me write that for us. All right. 108.2 says 4.5%, so it's 4.5% of students did not brush their teeth every day. If there were 1,200 students in all, how many did not brush their teeth? Oh, goodness. Brush your teeth, kids. You're going to get cavities. So we start with the percent equation and then fit our problem into its form. So a percent of a number is another number. So 4.5% equals 4.5%, right? So 4.5% of 1,200. So of means to multiply. So what we have to do is turn this into a decimal so we can multiply. So that would be 4.5 times 1,200 would equal the number that did not brush their teeth. Okay, so we'll put a BT here for bad teeth. They have bad teeth. So we turn this into our fractional number, and then we make the decimal from there. So 4.5 out of 100. That's 2 decimal places, so that's going to be 1, 2. So we need a 0 in front of the 4. So 0.045 is the number that we're multiplying by 1,200. So 0.045 times 1,200 is going to equal the number with bad teeth and bad breath if you don't brush your teeth. So we just bring up our little calculator. We clear the previous work and we say 0.045 times 1,200 equals 54. So 54 students did not brush their teeth. And you could actually say didn't brush their teeth with the little negating line that we use for our inequality statements. So 54 is the answer to that problem. All right, and that is all we have for lesson 108. We just needed to learn how to convert a percent into a decimal, and we do that by just putting that number, whatever that percent is, over 100 and dividing it. And I wanted to show you right quickly in the calculator how easy that is. We put 4.5 over 100, so that's 4.5 divided by 100. You can do it in your calculator. If you have a hard time moving the decimals over visually, you can just put it in the calculator and it's the same thing. It gives you the same answer. All right, and I will see you in lesson 109.